So we're going to carry on with this. Will be another episode from sort of where we went last week with with four drive tracks where beginners can go, where ones that are sort of just getting started out, looking for some places to go and a bit unsure. Well, this is going to be a couple of good episodes, and we'll do another one next week as well to follow up on this one. Go, Mitch, Daniel, Darren, how are you guys? Thanks very much for coming tonight. Greg, Jono, thanks very much, guys. Good to see you guys on here nice and early. Thanks very much, greatly appreciate it. So last week, we're still going to be around sort of that Mansfield area with this episode as well. And last week we used this map here, this Mansfield Mount Howard map, where we come out of Mansfield, went up Carter's Road, Mount number 3, down into the King River, and sort of got into King Hut there. Well, this trip here, and then we went up to Craig's Hut from there. But so this trip here is going to sort of start from King Hut. So again, you come through that same way down into King Hut. And look, if you left Mansfield by, you could make a weekend out of this, or even this would be a good three-day trip if you got that extra couple of days. Maybe spend one night there at King Hut and then continue on with the trip we're about to do. Again, I'm going to emphasise this fact. This is for guys that are getting started out. That just got yourself a few mates that are wanting to get into some four driving and want to go out and do some pretty easy cruisy stuff, but still see some amazing country. Well, this is really geared up for you. But look, anyone can go and do these. Look, I still enjoy them. Go and do these trips, and anyone can go and do them. That's for sure. But I'm going to emphasise that fact. This is for only when it's dry conditions. All right, absolutely when it's only dry conditions. You can go and do these. Go and do these tracks with some confidence and still see some amazing country. So we'll get into this. So we're going to start now at King Hut, but I just got another map here which I'm going to actually use for this one, which you could use this one too for last week's episode as well. Now this map here, which one's this one? This is the bright Mansfield map, and this one's going to cover this whole area, and it sure covers what we talked about last week as well. So if you just want to do last week's and this week's, well, just get that one map and that'll cover all of this, the bright Mansfield rooftop map. So after we get into King Hut down in there, you're going to head out of King Hut, and then head out of there for a little while. And then last week we turned right onto Speculation Road. Well, this week we're going to continue straight through, and we're going to end up at Lake Cobbler. Now this is a track, Lake Cobbler track. Gets a lot of talk about, because on the old map of if you have a look on the map there, that Lake Cobbler track, there's still a mention there about the staircase, the old staircase that was there. But look, these maps are, what's that map? About 2004 edition. That one is. A lot of people still talking about the staircase and what sort of conditions in and that sort of thing. Well, the staircase is gone, well and truly 100% gone. Not there anymore. It was unfortunately bulldozed after the bushfires that went through the area back in 2006-07. They flattened that staircase so they could get fire trucks up and down there quite easily to for the firefighting efforts, because fair chance they're probably running trucks up to Lake Cobbler for water and that sort of thing. So, but the staircase is 100% gone now. It was a great section. It was only a short section. For anyone who may have driven it, be interested in any of you guys may have driven the staircase way back in those days. But 2006 is when it was. G'day, Mark and Greg. How you going, guys? Alex, good on you. Thanks very much. No, I didn't catch any fish, mate. I'm still trying. We'll see how we go on the next one, mate. But the old staircase, it was a section of track, as I say, only probably about maybe 40, 50, maybe 60 metres in length, just this one section on that Lake Cobbler track. And it was, very, very sort of rocky, lumpy, big rock steps. You had to sort of navigate your way through. Nothing sort of dangerous, like you weren't going to roll off tracks or anything, but it was just a section you really had to navigate your way through, and without, damaging sills and that sort of thing. But unfortunately, it's 100% gone now. And so you can get through there nice and quite easy. But that whole track all the way now through from King Hut, all the way up through up to Lake Cobbler on Lake Cobbler track, it's an easy drive, and it's a bit stony and rocky in places. When I talk about rocks, I'm talking about sort of this sort of size, sort of rock stuff. It's nothing big boulders or anything you're going to get through. So, you're going to experience a bit of low range stuff. Again, tyre pressures are going to be key, so you don't go puncturing tyres, and especially in that rocky section as you're driving up towards Lake Cobbler. And then while you're up through there, and then when you get up the top of Lake Cobbler, this again why I sort of emphasise that dry when it's dry, because that probably about the last 5, 6, 7 Ks of this Lake Cobbler track, it turns from rocky into sort of really hard packed clay base. And she'd be very, very slippery and challenging in sections of that if it was wet. So, again, I'm emphasise this fact, this is only for dry. Unless you're going to go with some experienced guys, totally different ball game. But, you know, if you just got a few of your mates, you know, you want to get out there and go and try some of this stuff, well, this is going to be a great drive. Shannon, how you going there, mate? Good to see you on here, that's for sure. Newy Joe, how are you, mate? And good to see you guys in here. So, yes, I'm getting to Lake Cobbler. Now, this trip also is going to take in a couple of waterfalls. So I've had a few people ask me last week after that session we did last week about maybe some waterfalls in the area. Well, this is going to take in two decent waterfalls to go and have a look at. So I get up there to Lake Cobbler. Now, some of you guys might have seen some of my recent videos where we did a big loop out of Pineapple Flat up to Lake Cobbler. You'll see the waterfalls we did there, Dandongado waterfalls. They're certainly worth going and have a look at from Lake Cobbler. Camp the night there. It is absolutely an amazing spot to camp. Absolutely beautiful spot. Lake Cobbler was dammed up back in about the 80s or somewhere around there it was. It's an artificially dammed up, and now it's used for firefighting efforts. So it's big high country lake. Absolutely beautiful. I've seen people fishing there, but I've never actually seen anyone actually pull a fish out of there. So I don't know what fish might be in it, but always someone's throwing a rod in, so there might be some fish in there. But it is a beautiful lake if you haven't been up to Lake Cobbler, and check it out from there. But camp up there, and then there's a track not far from the hut there, near the hut. You see a walking track which walks you down to the very top of the cascading waterfalls at Dandongado Falls. Stunning sight, well worth going to have a look at. Well-defined track. It's not far in. It's probably only going to take you. It's probably only maybe about 500-600 metres in this track to go in onto the waterfalls and then back out again. So you spend the night there at Lake Cobbler. It is a great spot there. You've got drop toilets, all that sort of stuff. Great spot there. There's a few spots if you go past the hut and sort of around the edge of the lake. There's some great camping spots sort of right on the lake if you're lucky enough to snag one of those. Great spots down along there. And then if you're into morning sunrises, which, you know, I don't mind getting out of my swag a bit early for a good sunrise. Well, this is a cracking spot to go and see a good sunrise, but you've got to go on the other side of the lake. So you got to walk back out the track you sort of come in, get on the other side of the lake. So you're looking back across the lake sort of towards the hut. And there you got Mount Cobbler sort of in your distance behind you there. Well, that's where it all goes on. So the sun's going to come up behind you from your back, and then you'll see the sun start to hit Mount Cobbler there, winds its way down through the trees. Absolutely specco sight, but this time of year when daylight savings on, you got to get out of your swag fairly early to go and see it. That's the only drawback if you don't like getting up early, but you'll miss a cracking sight. It's well worth going to look at. Big fella, how you going there, guys? Gary, thanks very much. And Australian Outdoor Man, thanks very much. Sue Braggs, how you going there? Good to see you on. Adam, thanks, guys. And John from Tennessee. Look out. That's wicked, mate. Thanks very much for coming in. Love the cooking videos. Good on you, mate. Great. Thanks very much for coming in. So, yeah, to spend the night there at Lake Cobbler, because that is a great drive up through there. And then get up next morning, head out of Lake Cobbler now. It's a very easy drive back into Mansfield from here. It's going to be sort of you're probably going to still stay in sort of high range full drive for all down through here. So you can take that Lake Cobbler track all the way out, and sort of as you leave Lake Cobbler, you're going to get on that track not far out of there, and then you'll wind your way around for a couple of Ks, and you come to a sort of a fairly open sort of a right-handed bend as you're going this way. It'll be sort of on a right-hand bend. You'll see a bit of a clear in the track, which looks back across the waterfalls there, Dandongado Falls. It's worth pulling up there and having a good look at the falls. Stunning sight, worth checking that out. So have a look at that too while you're in that area. 100% worth having a stop over there for a quick look at the waterfalls all going on. You'll see them falling down the rock faces there. Absolutely stunning sight. So then continue on from there. Take Lake Cobbler track all the way down the bottom until you get to the very bottom where you're going to come out on the Rose River Road. And when you hit Rose River Road, you're going to hang a lefty. Now we're heading back into, this is taking us all back into Mansfield eventually. Get on the Rose River Road, and look, you might maybe consider maybe airing up somewhere there because there's not a lot of dirt still to do before you get back on the bitumen. So now you're heading towards Cheshunt. Sorry, guys, going to have another bit of a sip. Go, Frank. How you going there, mate? Daniel, guys, Ian, thanks very much for coming in, guys. So, so yes, you hang a lefty there when you get to the bottom of Lake Cobbler track and on that Rose River Road, and now you're heading towards Whitfield. Now, just before you get into Whitfield, now you're going to be on the bitumen now, so you're going to be well and truly aired up, out of your full drive stuff, all that sort of things, well and truly finished by now. But just before you get into Whitfield, there's a road off to the left, Paradise for the Waterfalls Road. This is where you want to go and check out Paradise Falls. If any of you guys, I don't know if any of you guys have been to Paradise Falls, but I tell you, when they are on, Paradise Falls are absolutely stunning sight. There's it's a fair bit of a walk to get down there, though. That's the only drawback. It's probably probably about 800-900 metres to get down there. Sort of all reasonable sort of a grade getting down, but then you got to climb your way back out. It's a well defined track with some steps and that sort of thing. But when you get down to the actual falls, they're an absolute stunning sight. Big sort of rock hangover, and you'll see two big, massive waterfalls coming over the top over there. Provided there's been a fair bit of rain. Not sure how they'd be going this time of year when it's a little bit dry, but when it's on, it's absolutely beautiful sight, Paradise Falls. So make sure you check that out at some stage, whether you're going to do it on this trip or at some other stage down the track. Paradise Falls is highly recommended. Go and have a look in there. Then once you've had a look at the falls, come back out, and then hang a lefty and heading towards Whitfield. And then, as I say, now on the bitumen, through Whitfield, over the mighty King River. That's not a bad spot, actually, to stop over there. I've had a few stopovers just before the bridge there on the King River. Beautiful spot there where you've crossed the river way back up on this trip through the King River. Well, that's where it only winds its way out through Whitfield there and eventually runs into the Ovens River. But that's further way down the line. And then continue on and until you get to where you go, Whitfield. So you're going to get into Whitfield, and just as you're driving to Whitfield there, you're going to hang a lefty at the pub. There's not a bad pub there on the corner, a little shop across the road. They do some pretty good takeaways and burgers and that sort of stuff too. So if you're after a bit of a feed, either one of those are a good option. So hang a lefty there at the pub. Now you're on the Whitfield-Mansfield Road, and this is taking you back into Mansfield. Head up there, and I don't know if any of you guys have seen Powers Lookout. Absolutely stunning lookout, particularly if you get a good day. It's about sort of, maybe 10, 15 Ks up after you hang a lefty at the pub there. Head up that Mansfield-Whitfield Road and look out for the signs as well. Very well signposted. You can't miss it. Big brown signs there to Powers Lookout. Drive down that dirt road there. Very easy drive down. Don't have to worry about full drive stuff. Very easy drive into Powers Lookout. Now, Powers Lookout is named after bushranger Harry Power, and that was his lookout. Clearly, that's how it got its name. So he was part of Ned Kelly's, mucked around with Ned Kelly back in the days. But so that was where Harry Power was sort of looking. He could look down. When you go there, you'll see these massive lookout towers that they've built, purpose-built towers, and walk out on these massive platforms. And you'll see the amazing views that old Harry would have been having back in those days. But I'm not too sure whether he would have been too fussed about the views, but it certainly was. He was well set up there because you could see way down in the valleys and see when the police were coming and that sort of thing. But anyway, they outsmarted him there and eventually caught him there at Powers Lookout, and hence that's how it's got its name. But it's well worth definitely going to have a look at. There's two vantage points as you park your car there in the car park. There's sort of vantage point sort of right there at the car park, and that one's still good. But the best one is there's a track. You'll see a track, well-defined track going off the car park there. You'll go out there, you've got to go down some stairs and sort of up some stairs, and then you'll come out to this big, massive, purpose-built platform that they've built out there, and you got to walk out. So if you're a bit iffy about heights, because as you're walking out onto this platform, it's a graded platform and you can sort of see through it. So it's still well worth going to check it out. But the views once you get on both those platforms, and particularly that second one, the further one out, is an absolute knockout. Worth going to have a check out. So then you go and have a look at that. Then wind your way back, jump back in your car and come back out the same way on that dirt road, and then until you get back out onto the bitumen there at Whitfield Mansfield Road, just hang a lefty there, and then wind your way back into Mansfield and head off on the whatever directions you got to go to from there. If you're heading back to Melbourne, well, pretty easy to find yourself your way back there. But you could do those trips as a 3-dayer or even stretch them out. It could be a good 3-day there if you want to sort of take your time and cruise through there and see some amazing country. And this would be a great time to go and do it when the weather is pretty good, The other things you got to take into account with if you're just getting started out is what sort of things you need on your full dive, and a snorkel is an absolute must. If you're just getting started out, if you want to have a good look at the high country, a snorkel is an absolute necessity. Look, I've always said no snorkel. Well, no, it's pretty simple, no high country. But and then next week we'll do another one, which is going to take us. We're going to sort of leave this area, and we're going to head towards La Cola. So this will be another good one. This is probably a bit far to go for a weekender for the next week's trip, but should be a great 3-day. If you've got a 3-day long weekend coming up, there's one coming up in March, only a few weeks away. Well, it'd be a cracker for that. Go and have a look at that one for a 3-day trip. So make sure you tune back in there next week. But if any of you guys have got any questions about, if we don't get round to them, I'll try and get to as many as we're talking about here. But if you guys have got any sort of direct questions about either this one we're talking about now or last week's, please chuck them in the comments down below, because I certainly will get round to answering any questions and queries that you do have. So make sure you do put any questions you got in down the bottom down there. Shannon, I was there at Paradise Falls a few weeks ago. There you go. Still a little shower coming over. Had a beautiful fresh drink from the falls here. The fall at Paradise Falls is pretty underrated, actually. It's an amazing to go and see it. I don't know how many people actually know about it, because the signs from as you turn off that just before Whitfield there, it's not overly sort of real signposts to sort of say what's up there. It's just Waterfalls Road, or Paradise Falls Road, it's called. But yeah, you just got to follow the little signpost, and it'll take you up to the car park there where you park your car and walk down. And must check out those waterfalls because they are fantastic. Adam, just a tip from Whitfield, Mansfield Road. Be careful, heaps of motorbikes on the road weekends. Yeah, because that's, as I say, now we're on the bitumen, so they will be hooking through there. But yeah, great tips there, ads, for anyone who's heading through there. Yeah, especially on that Mansfield Whitfield Road, because it'd be a great road to ride on. Big, long, sweeping, fast sort of road on it. But yeah, just be careful of those bikes, because they do get a bit close to the centre line sometimes. So just be careful of them. G'day, Ruben. What's it from Norway? G'day, mate. Thanks so much for coming in all the way from Norway, mate. Good to think our reception's going in all the way over there. Thanks so much. Greatly appreciate that. Hopefully everything's going all right for you over there in Norway, mate. Thanks so much for coming in. Mick, comes and snorkel. I believe that the first two things for anyone going off-road, yeah, comms and snorkel. Absolutely, yeah. Look, snorkel's an absolute must. And then we can sort of talk about tyres and suspension and other stuff a bit later on down the track. But yeah, snorkels are, very, very important thing to have, that's for sure. Ross, I'm going good, thanks, mate. Thanks very much there coming in tonight. Alex, anything around El Dorado, closest to Sydney High Country? I do have a video. El Dorado is a cracking place, mate. It's fantastic country out there. There is a video on my channel there of El Dorado, where we did some tracks in around El Dorado. It's a great area. I'd like to go back over there again at some stage. Not overly dangerous sort of stuff. There's a fair bit of technical sort of driving stuff over there. Really good area. So maybe have a look at that video there, Alex, and it might give you a few ideas for going over that El Dorado. And make sure you go and check out the pub, smallest pub in Victoria in El Dorado there. Great. It's a great joint. That's for sure. Leanne, how you going there? Love La Cola. Store has great gifts and snacks, and yeah, have a great week. Thanks for the chat. Paradise Falls is on my bucket list to do now. Look, if you haven't been there, yeah, keep banging on about it. Paradise Falls, an absolute must. Go and check it out. Daz, so thoughts on your first trip to McKillop's Bridge, mate? I'm just so glad I finally got there. It's been a long time coming, because I used to live down the Mornington Peninsula, so. Yeah, I was looking sort of 6.5 hours sort of go up there, and it's a bloody long way to go for a weekend, nearly even too far maybe to go even for a long weekend. So I'm glad now where I'm now. I'm only sort of a few hours to get up there, but mate, McKillop's Bridge is absolute knockout place. Sensational. That spot where I camped there on the Snow River. If anything of it was just sensational, and got to start falling in love with a bit of the old Snow River. So. I'm planning a big trip at the moment through that sort of area at the minute, so we'll see what happens to that in the next few weeks. But yeah, McKillop's Bridge and the history around it. When you go there and you see how that bridge got washed away, and you see how high it is, and you see how wide that valley is where the water's come down. It's a phenomenal amount of water that came down to wash that bridge away. But certainly well worth going to check out, that's for sure. G'day, Anthony. How are you, mate? Me and my twins, three-year-olds are watching you for a while, trying to settle for bed. Oh, hopefully you can get them down soon there, mate. Say good day to Mark and Carla. How you going there, guys? Thanks for watching in tonight, and hopefully you can get off and get some sleep going soon. And we'll maybe catch up with you next week. But thanks very much, guys, there coming in. Project Hilux, keen to check out Jim's Hut. Everyone here go and check out Jim's Hut. We talked a bit about that one last week, so you can have a bit of a look about that one, mate. If you're after some tracks to get up to Jim's/Craig's Hut, that's certainly well worth going up there to have a look at, that's for sure. Harry, how you going there, mate? I'm going good. Rainbow Victorian Desert tracks. You could go and do South Australia if you're going. Look, I'm looking to do maybe South Australia. I want to go and do border track. I've been to Rainbow a couple of times, but I'm going to maybe going to do border track a bit later on too. But just got to wadle up and see what everything's going on. But anyway, we'll see how it all pans out. But there you go, guys. So there's another good trip there for four-wheel drive tracks for beginners. If you're just starting out and you want to maybe go and do some tracks with some absolute confidence, again, provided it's dry. You got some few mates there getting started out. They are a couple of cracking episodes there, and we'll get one more in next week to leave Mansfield area and take us up into the Cobbler area. So tune in for that one too for next week, guys. But thanks very much for coming in here tonight. Greatly appreciate all the questions. If you've got any more direct questions that you want answered, if I've missed any there, please chuck them in the comments down below, and I'll get around to answering them 100%. And we'll see you guys next week. Good on you guys. Have a good week, and we'll see you a bit later on.